Hey, what up guys? Welcome back to Sneaker Stories. As always, I'm your host Chris Jack. Today, a shoe I've been waiting a damn long time for, of course, the YEEZY Quantum. Without further ado, let's check them out. Alright, so these released all the way back at All-Star Weekend. Kanye and Adidas caused an absolute frenzy at All-Star Weekend. It was around February in Chicago, of course, and they drove their little, whatever you call those things, all the way through town. People were running, guys were giving pairs of Fear of Gods in exchange for a free pair of these, that whole kind of thing. Caused a big ruckus. It was insane. Probably jealous. In fact, very jealous. I wasn't there. Anyway, about a month or two after that, I think maybe in around April actually, Yeezy Mafia reported that there would be a global restock of the OG model of the Quantum in Quantum colorway. So that's why it's called the Quantum. Anyway, since then, I think resale prices were around $800 to $1,000 back then. I kind of wanted to hold off on that just in case this global restock happened, and of course it did. Just last Saturday, September the 5th, at either Shelf Life or adidas.co.za locally here. Now, there were not a lot of pairs of these. I estimate probably less than 60 pairs maybe here in South Africa, so it was a pretty difficult cop to get. In fact, the adidas.co.za website pretty much loaded the page as sold out. But anyway, nonetheless, managed to get lucky through a friend who won the raffle at Shelf Life, so shout out to you, man. Really appreciate you looking out for me. Onto the shoes themselves, as mentioned, been waiting a hell of a long time to unbox these, and I gotta be honest, taking them out of this massive box that they come in was a pretty epic experience just because it's a new silhouette. I know it's been around for some time, but definitely new to this room. I've got most of the OG models, as you'll see on the wall behind me. So to add this model to the collection is an exciting experience for me at least. But onto the shoe itself, obviously this was originally created as a basketball silhouette. There are two versions of this shoe. First, this is the lifestyle version that is released globally, and there's also a performance version which was used in the NBA, which doesn't have a bunch of the 3M accents on here. Apparently it was banned just because it was a bit distracting, but I think there's also some sort of performance upgrades, at least with the upper of the shoe, and maybe one or two other areas in terms of the shape of the heel and whatever on that pair. But this particular pair, as mentioned, is the lifestyle model. I'm going to start underneath with the outsole of the shoe. Now, the midsole outsole combination is completely rubber. It is transparent here as well, but as you'll see, you've got a different coloration. It's kind of this sort of yellowy color underneath with a different traction pattern that we haven't seen on any other Yeezy models, at least as far as I'm aware. And then you've got this really awesome boost window here in the heel section, and I think for the first time I'm seeing Boost branding on that as well, just in that window. So a nice little touch point there on the Boost itself. And flipping up into the midsole of this, a pretty organic shape that's going through from the front of the shoe towards the heel. It's something that's quite similar to what you've got in some of the later models, obviously the 380 Alien, of course the 700 V3 as well, kind of following in that design language of this sort of organic shaping that goes throughout the shoe. And then obviously in the heel section over here, you've got this massive heel counter cup thing that's going on here. And this has sparked a big debate online about whether people actually like this shoe or not, just because the quality control of this particular release or model is really bad. Now on this actual left side, it actually lines up pretty good. It doesn't look too bad on here, but as you'll probably notice on the other shoe, it's completely off, and the consistency between left and right pairs, or different pairs in total, it's just not there. It's probably the ideal scenario for any fake company making these shoes, just when the quality control is this bad between actual authentic pairs from Adidas themselves. Anyway, nonetheless, this entire heel section over here is a reflective 3M, and that obviously matches up with some other 3M hits on the shoe, which are predominantly here in this mid panel of the upper. And speaking about that, this is one of the coolest executions of a knitted in upper. Now, the base layer of the upper is that monofilament mesh. We've spoken about that with the 700 V3s over here. And it kind of follows the same kind of principles how the knit section of it is knitted into that sort of mesh. But on the Quantum itself, you do have a multi sort of layering effect. So you'll notice just underneath that mesh, there's another design of sort of a zebra-y wavy effect there. So you're getting quite a lot of depth on this. Now that little wavy effect underneath that mesh layer is actually 3M as well, so you get that under reflection in certain lighting conditions as well. And then I just want to swing around to the toe box section over here. As you guys will probably recognize this from pretty much every 700 V1, V2, V3, they all have this sort of V toe shape overlay, which is generally done in either a rubber or a suede. On this particular version, it is like a very, I'm gonna say it's like a low quality nubuck suede. Like this is a disappointing part of the shoe for me, if I'm absolutely honest. That's not the end of the world. It's not a make or break for me. However, just the quality control in here, you've got a lot of little kind of glue stains where it joins this neoprene booty on the inside. I just think that this will probably get ruined quite quickly. I think maybe on the shoe, a rubberized version would probably be more suitable. Perhaps it just didn't look as good on this particular pair versus the suede material, of course. And then just moving further back, as mentioned, this is a neoprene construction in terms of a booty and a sock-like construction. It's kind of sock-like, but not really, because it is two separate units in the heel section and this tongue section as well. It is something that's very comfortable, at least for me on foot. Just having that neoprene part over there, it's just, as you can imagine, it's pretty soft on there. And then obviously the laces just done in a flat black here, a rope lace, of course. Now, just from a colorway perspective, this obviously being the OG Quantum colorway, they have also released in a barium or barium colorway. There are obviously rumors of other colorways to be coming before the end of the year or into 2021. That is obviously from the leaks and that. I do think this is probably my favorite colorway still, at least from what I've seen so far. But perhaps that's just because I've stared at this one for so long. You know, it's probably been a 3-year process that Kanye has been teasing the shoe before they actually released. Now, from a pricing point of view, the Quantum landed here in South Africa for 4,499 Rand. And in my opinion, it's pretty decent for what you're actually getting for the shoe. It's got boost in it. There's a lot of material here. You've got 3M hits. You've got a pretty awesome dual layered knit on the upper, some suede hits and a neoprene construction. And when you compare that with what the 700 V1s or V2s over here go for at 5,000 Rand, I think it's actually pretty decent considering that. Now, one of the biggest topics for debate on the Quantum has to be the sizing of it. Obviously, you've got quite a different construction and quite a different silhouette here with this curved heel section and quite a dramatic slope down to where the toes are. I did some research, and shout out to the other reviewers out on YouTube, Seth Fowler, etc., who did recommend taking a half size up on this, and that's what I went with. I got a 9.5 UK over here, and for me, they fit me absolutely perfectly. They weren't too tight in any particular place on here. Full disclosure, haven't really worn them for a full day or anything like that, as I've literally just got them. But I think you're pretty comfortable at a half size up, so that's pretty much your standard Yeezy size, if that makes any sense. As I also take a half size up in the 700 V3, which are a little tighter for me than what these are, and obviously a half up in 350 V2s as well. And then last but not least, just to show you this box, as it is the first time I'm seeing this box, you've got Quantum branding on the top. It is a massive box compared to what you would normally get, obviously because the shoes are bigger. Boost branding on that side, Yeezy Quantum made by Adidas with the Adidas Performance logo on that side, and then just the size label here, of course, with Yeezy Quantum. It does say basketball there as well. But that is it for this review of the Yeezy Quantum. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. If you do have any further questions or if I've missed anything out, please drop it in the comments below and I'll do my best to get back to you as soon as possible. Otherwise, I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please give the video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe right here for more early unboxings, reviews, and other sneaker related content down the line. But that is it from me, guys. I'll catch you on the next one.